Elise!
Your biological father was a man I used to run with when I was an addict. His name was Ronnie.
My father is Ellsworth Johnson.
All right, so that episode 4, Godfather of Harlem. So the first part, we got like Bumpy Johnson, Mamie Johnson, right, and Margaret. Like they all trying to like, cause in the beginning it was where he was trying to get like black workers to work on like some construction. Now I do like how they mention Stephanie St. Clair because a tidbit because Stephanie St. Clair was Bumpy Johnson's like mentor, and she was the one you could technically say that she was the queen pin of Harlem first because she was in charge of Harlem, and then after when she like retired and left, and that's when she just passed everything over to like Bumpy Johnson. So I sort of like what they did here, a little name drop and a reference. I was like, I like that. And then in the beginning it was like a little bit of a scruffle because the union workers, the white side of the union workers came in and was just like, no, we want to have our workers and work over here, and your black workers don't work anywhere. So they had a little bit of a scruffle. So that's when Bumpy Johnson was just like, he's gonna have to fix this because it's like he wants to have black owned and black workers, and he's trying to separate away from like white people trying to like take over, because again, the whole point is to have something for Harlem and for black people, while white people have like Bensonhurst and they have other things that they have that's not affiliated with black people. So I sort of like that. And then we got a little bit of like a Fanny or Fenny. Hopefully I'm saying her name right, like a Fanny Shakur, right? And they was at like the school, and they was trying to like I guess give out like food and try to like give back to the community. And then that's when the cops showed up, and that's when they arrested her. And then we got to see our boy Obi. We got to see our boy Obi, or Shadiq. Shadiq is his new name now. So I was like, hey. So now it seems like Elise is gonna have like a new love interest, because since the cops basically arrested Afeni, that's when Elise and Shadiq was talking, and then getting to know each other. But then we see later on, now I don't know if this man was actually shown throughout like the 3 seasons. I highly doubt it, or if he was shown in maybe the first season or second, I don't remember. But when she got arrested, that's when Elise, because they was at the dinner table, and that's when Elise asked Bumpy Johnson for like $500 to like bail out of Fenny. And that's when he was like, well, you dropped the check and like you $5. And it was like, she was like, I'm not leaving the Panthers. And then that's when she didn't take the 500. So she seen Ronnie, who was her, I guess, like the father or the baby daddy to Margaret. So I was like, that's why I'm saying I don't even remember this guy at all. So they come up with this plan to like rob the drug den, and that's when one of the guys was saying like, hopefully this doesn't like anger Bumpy Johnson, but as she explained to him, like it has nothing to do with Bumpy Johnson. He's basically retired. He's done, right? So they go over there at the drug den, and they're like, yo, what's going on? Like where's everybody at? And then that's when Ronnie sneaks up on Elise with a knife to try to stab her. Then she turns around and she kills him. So I was like, oh damn. Basically she kills the father of Margaret. But as we seen later, when she talks to Margaret, she like, well, your biological father, she found out the news that he's dead. But then she's like, no, my father is Ellsworth Johnson. I don't know who this man is. So I was like, damn, this shit cold, man. This shit kind of cold, man. But I liked it though, because you see how Elise was like shaking up, because I believe this is her first kill. I don't think she, from my recollection, I don't think she's killed anybody in the show. So I think, which is crazy, which is her, the ex, the father of her kid. So I was like, okay, all right. But, we got that development, and then we got to see our man, Frank Lucas. He trying to like pawns off the ring from Mr. Cowboy. And then that's when Pettigrew shows up at the pawn shop, sorry. shows up at the pawn shop, and that's when they was talking to Moses, and he was like, yeah, it was some country dude came in here with this ring. So that's when he's like, okay, I got an idea of who it is, because we seen where Bumpy Johnson was talking to what is her fucking name? Stella. Where we seen where Bumpy Johnson and Stella was talking, and he was like, okay, because she at the time she was asking him like, oh, what's going on, like her man got taken out, Mr. Cowboy got taken out. So she was asking him, so she was like, okay, I need some information. So that's when he asked her about, like, you know, this guy that he's having problems with, because he's trying to like get more, you know, black people working in his on the project that he's trying to work on. So that's when they come to an agreement on how they're gonna do this. So that's when he had his man Chance go and like take the books, because it was like an idea to like talk to Joe Colombo to maybe settle it, so that way he can have somebody appointed on his side, so that way he can add like black workers in, because the whole point is to have black owned and to try to do things the right way rather than doing things the wrong way, because Bumpy Johnson doesn't want to go back to like doing things the wrong way anymore. You know, obviously like selling doogie and stuff, but he's trying to do things the right way. So that's when he gets the books. He shows Joe Colombo about it, and he's like, yo, like your books are screwed here. And he's just like, listen, he doesn't want, I think, that Fed coming back, because I think he was the Fed with glasses, and he says he doesn't want him to return and to interrupt what he's doing and most likely what Joe is doing. So he's sort of helping him in a way, as we see where Joe basically kills the dude at the end, because he was like, he can't take the chance or the risk, despite knowing the guy for 35 years. He couldn't take that chance, because it's like, if somebody is a rat, he had no choice but to kill him. Now the question is, was he the rat that he killed? We don't know. We're gonna have to see on that, if he was actually the rat, because this could still blow up in Joe Colombo's face if that wasn't his, like, the right man that he killed, and it was actually somebody else that's been that's, you know, keeping like information and could potentially dime on Joe Colombo like later on. So, you know, we got that development. And then that's when you know, going back to you know, our guy Frank Lucas, like once when, you know, Pettigrew figures it out, and then that's when you see Frank Lucas like shooting dice and shit. So Pettigrew knocks out Frank Lucas and takes him back to Bumpy, and he was just like, what happened? You're supposed to be on that bus, supposed to be going back to Ohio. Like, what happened? And then that's when Frank was just like, nah, man, ain't nothing for me over there. You can't go back. And then he like, well, you leave me no choice. I gotta take you somewhere. And he like trying to beg him, like, no, you don't understand. We're gonna work well together. Like, you can't do this to me. So I'm like, oh, well, technically, it sort of happens. It sort of happens. So I'm like, but I like what they're doing with this story, because they not giving us the typical, okay, they just work together now. Like, no, they building this shit up, because they want us to be much more invested into the story than what it originally was. So I'm like, you know what? I like it, because you're giving us a story where Frank Lucas is being a pain in the ass to Bumpy Johnson, to eventually Bumpy Johnson be like, all right, motherfucker, come on, you better not betray me again and again and again and again. So he's just like, all right, motherfucker, come on. But we know that's gonna probably happen like way later, because they hyping this shit up. So that's when he gets taken over to where Stella and the crew is at. And before Pino was about to put the bullet in his brain, he was telling her, he was like, no, Bumpy Johnson playing you. I was the one that stole the drugs. I did this. So he's like, nah, Bumpy playing you. So that's when Pino like, listen, man, I think Bumpy playing you. So they're trying to turn Stella more like her father, where it's like how Chin was with Bumpy, even though their relationship was different. it was insanely different. It was completely different, but they're trying to turn her more into Chin, even though I like her presence, and she's coming off like very smart, very strategic, and she's trying to do things differently. So it's like, I don't want her to turn into Chin, but it could happen, because again, the conflict of with her and Bumpy, and then also you got Frank Lucas over here lying. It's not okay, sort of lying, but not at the same time. Like, there's lies within the truth that he's speaking. So she cuts him loose, and she's just like, all right, just keep your ears to the street. So now you're gonna have Frank Lucas, I guess, sort of being I guess, a double agent, right? He's going to be still working with the Italians, but then keeping his ears to the streets and seeing what Bumpy is doing. So I'm like, oh boy, here we go. I just like what they're doing with like Frank Lucas, because they playing it up really well. They playing it up really well. Like my man used to say, season really well. That's what they making this shit good. They making it good. So I like what they're going with here, what they're doing here. And then I would say the one thing that they kind of had like towards the end, where Bumpy Johnson was visualizing, I guess, Club St. Clair. I guess that property that he's going to be building is going to be like a club and an honor for Stephanie St. Clair. Yo, it was really like a lot of drops, like name drops on Stephanie St. Clair, which I never thought. Well, I should say I never thought. I was, surprised a little bit. Like, okay, they was talking about her a bit more, because the thing is, it's like they don't talk about her enough, but I'm kind of happy that they are, because she did play a very significant big part in Bumpy Johnson's life, because he was her bodyguard. Now, I made a video about that. Y'all can go check out. Right, I did made a video about that, talking about that, but no, Bumpy was, I think, the bodyguard to Stephanie, or an enforcer. I think it was an enforcer. So yeah, he was working for Stephanie at one point, and like I said, she left, and then that's when she gave everything over to Bumpy. So I do like what they're doing here, where he didn't forget about her. I would have liked if maybe she would have returned, but I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't know in the timeline from 1966 if she was still alive or she passed away at a certain point. I don't know, but I mean, I would have liked it if she would have made a little cameo and been like seeing what Bumpy was doing. I would have liked it, but I think Bumpy, dedicating like this project and to try to make like Club St. Clair in an honor to Stephanie, I think it's fine. I think it's perfectly fine. So I like everything that they had in this episode. It's really nice, really nice, really, really nice presentation that they got set up for everybody. I just like how Frank Lucas is out here playing all these difficult type of games. It's more of a stray dog out here causing all this mischief until the fucking owner just comes along and say, all right, motherfucker, come on. You've been peeing on these people's legs for too long. Come on now. I'm going to show you what's right. So that's what's going to like lead up to eventually, because I feel like what they're doing right now with the story is still trying to have Bumpy Johnson be right and not try to go back into that criminal life. But he can't really help it because he still has connections. He still got a lot of support. He still got people that's going to help him and back him along the way. So it's just going to be a matter of time or two. We probably going to see maybe Stella and Bumpy probably go at it, because you got wrong people in her ear telling her things that's not true. So I'm like, oh my God, like Bumpy gonna be losing a supporter there. So boy, it's good, man. It's good. Episode 4. I can't wait for episode 5 to come out, because it was good. It was good. But man, at least. But overall, let me know in the comment section down below what you thought of this episode. What you thought. Drop your comments and your thoughts. But as always, like, comment, subscribe, and share. And I'll catch you all in the next one.